Let's imagine for a moment that I just woke up. I'm taking my breakfast, I'm eating my breakfast, I don't know, checking the phone or watching TV, and what is it that I see? I'm sure that you can guess. All the media right now is infested by pessimistic news. It talks about war, it talks about climate change, it talks about demographic crisis, death, everywhere, in all places, in all the social medias. It's always the same. You know what is funny? Even the people we don't know is having this vision of the world. So you cannot save yourself from being infected, especially if you're, just doing certain stuff in the streets, like because for example one day I was just in a line because I was going to buy something for the house, and there was a boy before me, a guy who just started talking to me. And since I'm not like a introvert or something like that, I just follow the conversation. And he was a very nice guy, by the way, but then he started talking about the crisis, the prices of everything, about how society is, having all these issues. I know some things are bad in the moment right now. Like society is very infected by destructive ideas and ideologies, but your mind cannot be infected from that negativism. Let me explain you something. We used to be cavemen, like very hairy cavemen. We used to be men in the caves. That's the word. And yeah, those were brutal times, very very cruel times. We used to kill each other for food, for we even eat each other's, if you know what I mean. So we used to go to war, micro wars, because it was a tribal stage of human evolution, let's call it that way. But then we discovered the tools. Technology was first introduced in our lives. We developed spears, we developed certain objects to deposit food and save it, and a lot more of things, even fire and the wheel and all those things that are very very ancient. Those things are technology, and they improved our lives. In the timeline, then when we were more or less civilized, let's call it that way, and we were ancient knights and warriors, we created these huge empires around the earth. We stopped being nomads, and the reason why is, again, because of technology. We had better like we could produce food in a more effective way through technology, because we developed certain ways to harvest and farm and stack food in a proper way by using technology. So we stopped being the way we used to be before, when we were men in caves. There, during like this period of time that I'm talking about, there used to be war, there used to be all kind of violence, but at least we didn't eat each other, right? So there was some kind of improvement, and we developed values and honor and loyalty, and everything was getting better for society in general terms, and it was thanks to technology. And let me explain you why. Basically, every time we introduce a new technology that improves the human's life, eh, uh, especially if this technology allow us to um, satisfy certain basic needs such as food, we start to see the world from a prosperity perspective, because we're able to produce more food, so we don't have to kill the neighbor to steal his or her food, right? Violent times before technologies. The modern times are described as easy times. Why? Because the technology has improved their life to a level that we cannot even imagine. Food is no longer an issue. You don't even have to hunt, or there is just a few countries in the world that are actually suffering from starvation, which is very fucked up, honestly. But let's go back to the point. The technology always improve the life of the human being, and with the right mindset, this is very important. With the right mindset, we have also become a more peaceful society, since again we're seeing life in a prosperity, like we see life with other eyes, not from the lack, but we're seeing life from a vision of abundance, basically. So what is going to happen in the future? The future, right now we are facing several crises. We have ideologies that are destroying society. We also have all kind of factors that we cannot even control. I'm talking about us as individuals, such as the climate change and war, major wars and stuff like that. But we won't be defeated. That is, especially if we are developing the technology. Actually, the humanity will get to certain point that most of the needs have been satisfied. I'm talking about the basic ones, the ones that are necessary to to survive. I'm not talking about the necessity to, I don't know, consume drugs or watch pornography and those mundane desires. I'm talking about the most basic things, like such as the opportunity to have a home, the opportunity to have food all the time, to be safe, the needed for the health, the basic health, at least for the basic illness that are killing tons of people in the world. Once those things are resolved, humanity will evolve to a greater era, to a greater stage of more joy, let's call it that way, more well-being, and it's going to be more peaceful. I'm just telling you this so you don't have this very pessimistic point of view, like it's not like the destiny of or destruction is already established or something like that. It's not like that. There is an incredible chance that we're going to save humanity. Again, it's not that easy though. We have to use our brain. And when all these things start to happen, I'm talking about the technology. When all the technology arrives to improve the world, it's gonna be disruptive. And it's gonna cause chaos. And if we're weak, because that's the actual only threat that humanity is facing, weakness of soul and weakness of mind, and even weakness of physical strength, because we also need to be healthy and strong. So if we fight the weakness, when the technology arrives, we're going to take it and improve the world as it should be. But if we are fear, and pessimistic. And also, we let, at least for men, if we let our masculinity to be taken, to be stolen from us, we won't be strong men who will control the technology and use it to impulse evolution to a level up, to the next level of well-being and the best, basically. Because I know it sounds pretty much like science fiction. This is something I'm going to say. It sounds like science fiction. Maybe I won't be able to see it. Maybe your son, your daughters won't be able to see it. But there is also a possibility that humans can live longer and be even eternal in the future. At the beginning, it's just like everything. At the beginning, you can tell me, yes, all the rich people are going to be the only ones who can benefit from that, and they're going to live like gods, and the future will be like a cyberpunk society. You can say that that's pretty much like the future that is expecting from us. But just like everything, at the beginning the cell phones were very, very expensive, also computers, and just a few of us could afford having one of those. But in a certain point, because of capitalism as well, somebody will create a way to make it cheaper and accessible for everyone. I'm talking about the future. I'm going as far as my imagination can. So yes, it is worthy to be optimistic and hopeful. My advice for you, if you're looking for a meaningful path to follow in your life, if maybe you're thinking what is it that you want to study, but you want your path to have a meaning and an impact in society and in the future of humanity, you can go to technology and genetics and investigation in the medic field and everything that could possibly improve the human condition. That's personally my goal. We have to be we have to be strong. We have to be strong, brothers. There is a brilliant future for our future generations. But right now we are the strong men who build the road for them. It's our turn. It's our turn. Right now, the responsibility isn't us. We have the responsibility for the future. Okay? So let's join. Let's focus. Let's create. That's it. If you like my message, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed my message, really. If you like it, like the video and subscribe. I'll be posting more videos.